It's the deflation of not the ego, the inflated ego. Like, oh, I said from the beginning, I don't ever want to come from a place of know-it-all. Like, I know it's the importance for me of deflating the inflated ego. It happens when I admit I'm wrong.
From the Big Island of Hawaii, welcome to Aloha Speaks, home of Malama Aloha Pono by Alexander Noman, offering relief for all relationships with a focus on anger assessment and resolve.
Aloha. Alex here with Aloha Speaks once again. And today I'm taking a little break from the usual flow because I was pushing myself a little hard yesterday. I'm feeling a bit under the weather. I'm still going to pull this off to the best of my ability. Yesterday, going to Kona, I was listening to an event from Australia where Prem Rao was speaking on the Timeless Today app. It's not on the free version, but I have a subscription. For $5 a month, there's an audio version that it just allows for amazing. There's live stream events and full-length videos and things that I feel are a privilege. So I had that opportunity, and I'm listening, and I stand corrected with this video I made, I don't know, a few videos ago called The Cause. And before I get going there, I have the parentheses after it's this correction, the bold heading. There's parentheses, as often there are. Admit what? ? Because it doesn't matter to what degree I'm admitting my wrong. I made a pie chart going, how many real sections are there of Malama Aloha Pono? And there are only 6. The first one being honesty. Nothing gets off the ground without honesty. And that's broken into basically differentiation, being able to differentiate, and discernment, being able to discern. It's differentiating between the truth and the lie, between the ears. But that's a whole section. The third one is the part about assessment, being able to admit my wrong, being able to answer those questions. And here I'm listening to this talk from Prem Rawat about this topic I just spoke about, the cause of death, because I had heard this medical information, and it's like, okay, there's this condition, start thinking about mortality. And it was like, what's the cause of death before knowing it? That's where I was coming from. So I can make excuses, that I wasn't wrong. The question that was posed to him from a kid was, why do people have to die from guns? This is the question that he's answering. And it's like, such clarity. Like, it was about being direct, because what he was saying, and I don't want to speak for him, but in paraphrasing, he was giving three choices. Like he was saying, he could come from a place of medical, like what, because the bullet goes in and causes the blood to, and you need the medical, or philosophical, like philosophically why, or what about direct? What about the direct answer? So, and everybody's going in the crowd, direct. Let's hear the direct one. And so it was like simple. I'm simplifying this. He said, it's death. Before he said that, he said it, where this is coming from. Where is this question coming from? Because people want to live forever. I mean, that's the bottom line. It's like the attachment is to having this life go on forever. And I'm not going to argue that one. It's like, yeah, who wants to die? No. So it's like, that's the place that it's coming from. So what is the cause of death? What's the reason anybody's going to die from the gunshot or anything else is death? What did I say in my video? In my video, I said, life. Life is what is the cause of death, because without the life, so there could be some way, but it's the clarity, the simplicity that I stand corrected. Can't get any clearer than that. Cannot get any more simple than that. It's death. Is the cause of death, is the reason. There is nobody gonna avoid that. It comes with the territory. And my point being made, it's not about self-deprecation. Like it's the deflation of not the ego, the inflated ego. Like, I said from the beginning, I don't ever want to come from a place of know-it-all. Like, I know it's the importance for me of inflated ego. It happens when I admit I'm wrong in step 1 in the 12-step program. Admit that it's the first. We admit we were powerless over alcohol and our lives had become unmanageable. And the first sentence in the 12 steps and 12 traditions, when it comes to the first step chapter, the first sentence is, who cares to admit complete defeat? And they're talking at that point about hitting bottom and, I'm beaten. But in all my experience, it's like, who cares to admit any part of what is the defeat? Not only am I beaten, but on a daily basis, it's the wrong. It's wherever I'm wrong. That is a defeat in itself. And that's a beautiful thing. I resist it with pretty much all I got. People say, the last thing I want to do is to admit I'm wrong. For me, it's never, I don't ever want to admit I'm wrong. So in this segment, this 6 segments of Malama Aloha Pono, that eventually all of them will come out. The first one is honesty. The third one is the assessment, which is the part that identifies where that is that I'm wrong. It's like it doesn't happen without that. Nothing's going to move forward for me, without that. Standing corrected. So I modify my answer. What is the cause of death? Death. Admitting my wrong is unusual. It's not normal. It's undesirable. And yet it's the secret key to the rest that will unfold. Until then, aloha. And to close, clicking on the thumbs up icon supports Aloha Speaks, as well as clicking on the free subscribe tab. Mahalo.